Now, let me bring in Mubashar Hasan. He's an adjunct research fellow at the Western Sydney University. Good to see you, sir. Your reaction to the court's ruling and sentence?
Thank you for inviting me. It is a significant moment in the history of Bangladesh politics, and especially it is a very significant moment for hundreds and thousands of victims who, some of them who were disappeared, some of them were extrajudicially killed and illegally held by Sheikh Hasina's government. So this is an incredible moment of the history. It will bear some symbolic justice for the victims.
So you think the court did the right thing here in sentencing her to death?
So I personally do not support death penalty, and I think since Sheikh Hasina is not behind bar and she's not in the country, there is we need to wait and see what happens with what India does. But at some point, this is still it's the highest law of the law that punishes people. In that way, I would just say it's a symbolic gesture towards the steps towards justice.
It's been quite a journey for her, right? From the time of her father, who led the country to independence from Pakistan in 1971, to then leading pro-democracy street protests during that military rule, and now, after 15 years in power, sentenced to death. Is there something about having power in Bangladesh that leads to sort of authoritarian rule?
I would say that she didn't. I mean, I agree largely with you, but I would also beg to differ respectfully on the point when you said she led the democracy movement in the military. There is another leader called HADRI who led the BNP. So they were also part of that movement against the military. Awami League took part in elections with the military at that time. But I also think it's you're right that, it's whether power corrupts and whether absolute power corrupts. What we saw in Sheikh Hasina's period in our lifetime, we haven't seen so brutal dictator who had no repentance, who had not a single ounce of repentance to the people and the victims of disappearance, extrajudicial killing. I think she had her own trauma, and we should ask question whether she is mentally stable person, because the thing she did over her 15 years period, no sane person could do it, and at the same time continue to persistently project her as a victim, whereas she was the perpetrator. So I would say that she is a unique and distinct case in Bangladesh's history. And what she did, she single-handedly brought down her father's legacy. She single-handedly brought down the legacy and image of Awami League by empowering the security apparatus, the military intelligence, DGFI, Rapid Action Battalion, the police, the civil servant, the judges, all she politicized and polluted. So I would say she is one of a kind, and I hope the future generation of Bangladesh would not see anyone like her in the coming days.
All right, Mubashar Hasan, thank you so much for your time and analysis here on the program.